Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always. What are we exploring today?
Well, this time we're going way back in time, like 1969, moon landing era.
Wow. Okay, taking it back. I'm intrigued.
Right. So picture this. The world is glued to their TVs, watching humans walk on the moon for the first time. Incredible, right?
Absolutely a landmark moment.
You'd think everyone would be, like, totally focused on space exploration, but get this.
Uh-oh, there's a twist. I can feel it.
The Roper Center data tells a different story. Only about 5% of Americans at the time actually thought sending astronauts to the moon was the most important problem facing the country.
No way. Really, that's so surprising.
Isn't that wild? In the midst of this huge achievement, public opinion was focused elsewhere. Tells you a lot about the times, right?
Yeah, really puts things in perspective. What else was going on back then?
Oh, just the Vietnam War, the Civil Rights Movement, kind of a lot going on, actually.
Right. So this data, it's from the Roper Center. Tell me more about them.
Oh, it's an absolute gold mine, a giant archive of public opinion data going back decades. We're talking millions of data points.
Wow, so it's like a giant library, but instead of books, it's...
Public opinion polls. You get to see what people really thought about major events as they unfolded, not just what history books tell us.
That's so cool. What kind of topics do they have data on?
Oh, you name it. Elections, presidents, the big stuff. But also health, social attitudes, economic concerns, even things like fashion and pop culture.
Seriously? That's incredible. So we could see how opinions on, say, climate change have evolved over time.
Exactly. You can actually track the shifts in thinking on all sorts of issues. It's amazing.
I bet there's some real surprises in there.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of surprises, the New York Times, right?
Oh, of course. Everyone
And
knows the New York Times.
well, they've been working with the Roper Center since 1977, collecting all this data together. Almost 50 years of tracking public opinion.
Wow, they must have seen some major changes in how people think over that time.
Right. Wars, economic booms and busts, new technologies, cultural shifts. It's all reflected in this data. Pretty incredible, huh?
Definitely incredible. But all that data,
Mm.
it must be overwhelming to sift through. Where do you even start?
Well, that's where the Topics at a Glance section on their website comes in. It's like a roadmap to all the different areas you can explore.
Okay, so if I want to deep dive into, like, the history of opinions on healthcare, there's a starting point for that.
Exactly. Or maybe you're fascinated by how presidential approval ratings have fluctuated over the years. They've got you covered.
It's like having a historical detective toolkit. You can really piece together how we got to where we are today.
That's a great way to put it. And you know what's really cool? They have a whole separate collection dedicated just to health polling.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They must have tons of data on that.
Tons. And they even have a